Welcome to the Hob app. I'm glad you're here. Let's explore the Trip Manager. Since the last video, I've added some fake user contact information. The address is for Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. I don't actually live there. I've also added a fake emergency contact and some fake medical information. This is so you can see how this information will be used later in this video and in the next one. You'll remember from the first video that your trip's navigation category is your entryway into planning your trips. The trip's homepage is where you'll find a listing of all your trips and provides navigation to individual trip itinerary pages. The destinations page is where you can search for park and recreation areas, campgrounds and sites, tours, and various points of interest. The trip members page is where you can manage a trip's members and their roles. The hotels page is currently in development. It is where you can search for accommodations to add to your trips. The planning boards are where you'll find a list of all your trip planning boards and provides navigation to a trip's individual planning board. Each board is associated with the trip, so a trip, even if only a generic one, must be created prior to creating a board. Let's create a trip. Click on Trips Home to navigate to your trips. Then click on Create a Trip. I'll create a trip called Grand Canyon Trip. I'll put in a departing and concluding date. I'll forego adding any other trip members, as I'll address group trips in the next video. I will check the box to use home address. I added a user contact address for this reason. It will auto-populate. It'll be a round trip going from Las Vegas to the Grand Canyon and back. Then click Create Trip. You are directed to the individual page for the trip. The map shows our departing and concluding location. Since we created a loadout in the last video, I'll set it as the trip loadout. Click on Add a Trip Loadout. Search for a loadout or select one from the drop-down list. Then click Save Loadout. This loadout has now been assigned to the trip. Before we create any destinations, I need to tell you the most important point of this video. Please listen carefully as it will help you understand the app. The Hob app uses 3 levels of nesting for trips, which correspond to the 3 levels of nesting generally found in parks and recreation areas. At the highest level, trips can contain destinations. These correspond to parks and recreation areas, such as the Grand Canyon National Park. The next level down is locations. A destination may contain various locations. These correspond to facilities located within parks. As we'll see later, the Grand Canyon Visitor Center and Mather Campground are facilities located within Grand Canyon National Park. The final level is waypoints. A location may contain various waypoints. These correspond to campsites and tours within facilities. Again, as we'll see later, there are many campsites within Mather Campground. The nesting structure allows itineraries to be developed in various ways and for a variety of use cases. This video simply presents a basic road trip style structure. The Create Destination button allows you to create a custom destination. We could add a destination using the Destination button or by adding a destination from the Destinations page. Instead of either of those, let's first create a planning board for this trip. From your trips, select Planning Boards. Hover over Create a Board and select the trip. A new planning board for this trip has now been created. Let's add a destination to the planning board. From your trips, select Destinations. On the Destinations page, you'll see a row of subcategories. National Parks allows you to search all national parks. All Parks allows you to search for other parks as well. you'll need to select a state or territory as a pre-filter. Campgrounds function similarly to parks, but limits results to campgrounds. Tours list all tours provided at federally managed areas. As of this filming, results for parks, campgrounds, and tours are limited to those that are federally managed. Though by the time you watch this video, various state and county managed areas might also be included. The points of interest allow you to search for a variety of locations, including gas stations, restaurants, sporting goods stores, hospitals, and so forth. Let's find the Grand Canyon. Click on National Parks. We could search by name or add filters to find it. Scrolling further down, we see the map. If our trip had any destinations, we'd have a route we could display on the map. We could navigate to the Grand Canyon by clicking on its location on the map, but instead, I'll scroll down to find it. As you can see from the photos, the U.S. is an amazingly beautiful country. We could add the Grand Canyon to the planning board by hovering on the Add to Board and then clicking on the board's name, or we could add the Grand Canyon directly to the trip by hovering on Add to Trip and then selecting the trip name. Instead of either of those, I'll navigate to the Grand Canyon's individual destination page. The heading Grand Canyon is followed by an arrow indicating we can navigate to another page to learn more. I'll click it. Scrolling down, we can see a lot of park information, including facilities located within the park. I have selected Mather Campground. I would like to know more, so I will select the name heading with the arrow to navigate to the campgrounds page. Scrolling down, I can learn a lot more information about the campground and see its campsites. I've selected campsite 002. I'd like to know more, so I'll navigate to the campsites page by clicking on the name heading with the arrow. Now I can read more about the campsite and check out additional photos. I could add this campsite directly to my trip, but for now, I will add it to the planning board instead. Let's check out the planning board. From your trips, click on Planning Boards. The Planning Boards page reveals that the board we created earlier has 002 added as a card. Let's navigate to the individual planning board by clicking on the name with the arrow. The planning board is a bulletin board that allows you to drag and drop cards and notes. Unfolding the accordion, we can see the information about campsite 002. We can show its location on a map and see any weather forecasts. The card can be moved by grabbing the drag handle. Click on the Route Distance Time button. Here is where you can generate driving directions between card locations. Since the trip has a departing location, I'll select that for the departing location. Then I will select the campsite for the concluding location. Then I will click Calculate. The driving distance and time are immediately displayed, and unfolding the accordion show the entire route. I'll add this information to the board by clicking Add to Board. We can see that it has been added. Let's add the campsite to the trip. Clicking on Add to Trip, I see a couple of options. The first is to create all new parent entries, and the second is to select an existing parent. These are necessary due to the nesting structure I mentioned previously. Since we have no destinations in the trip, I'll choose to create all new parent entries, and we'll click Add to Trip. The app will automatically add the Grand Canyon National Park to the trip as a destination, and then it will automatically add Mather Campground as a location in that destination. Once they are added, you'll be presented a form to add campsite 002 as a waypoint. This allows you to add or change any information before the card is added to the trip. I'll skip all the fields and will click Create Waypoint. You are directed to the individual trip page. You'll see 002 is a waypoint, Mather Campground is a location, and the Grand Canyon National Park is a destination. You can click on the destination map to show it and its included locations and waypoints. Scrolling up to the main trip section, you can show the map of the entire trip. Expand the trip route accordion to display the travel route for each leg of the trip. Let's add the visitor center to the trip. We could navigate to the Grand Canyon via Your Trips and the Destinations link like we did previously, or else we could click on the heading name with the arrow. On the Grand Canyon's page, I'll scroll down to Facilities and select the Visitor Center. Instead of going to the Visitor Center's page, I'll simply add it to the trip from here. Since I already have the Grand Canyon in my trip, I will check Select an existing parent. Then I'll select the Grand Canyon from the drop-down list and we'll click Add to Trip. Before the add is finalized, I can add or update information. For now, I'll simply scroll to the bottom and click Create Location. The location is created and the route is updated. When items are added, they are added to the end of their corresponding sections. I would like to go to the Visitor Center before going to my campground, so I will select the reorder icon next to Locations. I can drag and drop the locations into their new order and then click Save New Order. The trip itinerary is updated with the new order and the route has been recalculated. Let's add another destination. From Your Trips, select Destinations. Click on All Parks. I'll select Grand Canyon Trip from the Display Route drop-down list so that I can find a park that is near my established route. I'll click on the state of Arizona to show its parks. I could scroll down to select one, but I'd rather choose one from the map near my trip route. I'll choose the Mount Wilson Wilderness. I see that it has no facilities listed, so I'll simply add it to the trip. Clicking Create Destination, the entry is created at the itinerary's top nesting level and included in the route. Let's add one final place, a hotel to stay at the end of the trip. From Your Trips, select Hotels. The page is under development, but it can still be used. I'm going to add the Venetian Hotel and Casino. I'm going to select location. We'll display the route, though it doesn't matter in this instance. We'll select a radius of 1 mile, and then we'll enter in a zip code. Then click Submit. Scrolling down, we see some filters and the search results. The Venetian is the first result, and I'll click it to navigate to its page. If you were to click on Make a Reservation, a new tab would open where a reservation could be made. At the time of this filming, this is not an affiliate link, though it likely will be in the future. Let's add it to the trip. Scrolling down to the Notes section, I'll enter in a mock confirmation number for my reservation. The hotel is now added to the itinerary and the trip route. The trip map shows the entire itinerary with the route. I would like to add an additional card to the board that I don't add to the trip itinerary. From Your Trips, select Destinations. Then select Points of Interest. With the trip destination selected, I'll select to display the route, set the category to Food and Drink, and select a search radius of 5 miles. Then I'll select the trip, the Grand Canyon as the destination, and Mather Campground as the location, then hit Submit. From the results, I'll select Arizona Steakhouse as a possible place to eat dinner on my trip. From its page, I will add it to the board. Clicking back to Destinations, Points of Interest, I'll add another restaurant, one located at the Venetian, but I'll do that off screen as it is the same process. In the next video, we'll extend this trip for multiple trip members and show the additional functionality that is available for group trips.